Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to be discussing week 3. We are first, as usual, starting with our beer of the day. This is called Hop Silo 11. It's from Tampa Bay Brewery, and it's a special collaboration with Calusa Brewery. You can see Hop Silo 11. So pretty much just quickly over the Hop Silo series, this is the 11th one. All the Hop Silos are collaboration with other Florida local breweries. Obviously, Hop Silo 1 all the way to 11. This is now Hop Silo 11 with Calusa Brewery based out of Sarasota. And this is a hazy Indian Pale Ale. That's pretty much it. You can see it's pretty hazy. Cheers, good sir.
Very nice.
It's a very good beer. So you can get this at Total Wine. And there's a place by UM called Downstairs. Ooh. They have this there as well.
I live by that place.
We go there a lot.
I don't live by that place.
It's a hidden gem. Not many people know about it.
I stand with that place.
So it's pretty hazy. We got pretty much some light head retention. It's
good. I like it.
It's good. It's a very easy drinking hazy IPA. A little less bitter than your normal IPA. All right, so. Let's start with the week in review. Our pick'em results. Mike, yet again, took me this week. I am now down 3-1.
So I was +1 go at the end of week 1. I won.
He's +3 now.
Yeah, I got 3 wins this week. He got 1. So that's a +2 with the 1. +3, baby. Woo-hoo.
And the one that really aggravates me because we could have split the week is the Falcons.
Blowing big
Bro,
leads, man.
Like I don't know how many times you can blow a big lead where that game was ridiculous. I was literally smiling the entire time watching the updates like, I'm going to have this one in the pick'ems. Mike was picking the Cowboys. Obviously, I went with the Falcons. And, bro, the Falcons just did me wrong. I'm not even more impressed that the Cowboys came back. I'm more impressed that the Falcons allowed them to come back. Dude, it's ridiculous. I don't understand how that even happens. I really don't.
That onside kick, they didn't even want it.
It literally just, bro. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say anymore. But, that's no good for me. We're also going to talk about injuries. So, this was a terrible week for injuries in the NFL. Yeah. Obviously, from a fantasy standpoint and from a regular standpoint. Biggest one was Saquon Barkley going out for the year.
Yep.
Probably the second biggest one. Actually, I wouldn't even consider that the biggest one. I would say the biggest one was probably Joey Bosa going down, or Nick Bosa. Sorry. Was it Joey or Nick? Which one is it? The one from the 49ers. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
The younger brother.
I'm pretty sure it's Nick Bosa. Going down for the year as well with a torn ACL. I think it affects them more because no one was really expecting much from the Giants, in all honesty, where the 49ers won the Super Bowl last year. Their D-line was a big reason because of it. I mean, they get pressure to the quarterback.
They also lost Solomon Thomas, which is like
their defensive lineman. So, it affects him. But I think he'll be back. It'll probably be a longer injury.
Mm-hmm.
They did just sign Ziggy Ansah to kind of cover for
which I like Ziggy.
I like Ziggy as well. But I think that might be the bigger blow for the team just because they were expected to do much more. They also lost Garoppolo for a little bit. And the Garoppolo really wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't doing much.
Did you expect the 49ers to make the... Did you put the 49ers in your pick'em? I don't think you did. I didn't put the 49ers in my pick'em.
I think I did.
I wasn't expecting the 49ers to make the playoffs or win that division for that matter. So
I think I did, and I think I had the Cardinals coming in second in the division, which now the Cardinals lead the division. Well, the Cardinals and the Rams.
Man, where do you have the Seahawks then? Russell Wilson is playing at his peak MVP. He is in his prime. We will look back in the future. We will look back at when Russell Wilson was in his prime, and we will see that it was a 2020 season. Russell Wilson is the leading contender after 2 weeks to win the MVP award.
He really is.
Dak is my MVP, and holy crap! I mean, he lit it up.
But
he orchestrated that Dallas comeback.
Not like Russell.
But Russell is
killing
like 90% throwing, 4 touchdowns. Like holy crap! Right now, I think he's at his prime.
He has more touchdown passes than incompletions.
Yeah, man, that's great.
In the first 2 games,
and he's only 6
he has
feet
more
tall.
touchdown passes than incompletions. And the one interceptions count as incompletions?
Yeah, they do.
So that was, I love you, Greg Olsen, but that was right through the hands. That wasn't even Russell Wilson's fault, that pick six to start the game. Like, straight up. That hit him right in the hands. But yeah, so those are one injury. That's one big injury. Obviously, we talked about Saquon, CMC's another one, Raheem Mostert. The 49ers got, like, dismantled. Like, straight up. Like, they lost half their squad. Like, they lost really big pieces.
So, let me ask you this. So, we spoke last week about how the game was clean, it was nice. Do we have a need for preseason anymore? Now, the talk is, because there is no preseason, there's players basically running into walls and getting hurt.
I don't even know if that's the talk now, because the biggest issue, like for Saquon, it's different because Saquon didn't get injured at MetLife, but the Jets and the 49ers were playing at MetLife. And they play again this week against the Jets. They were complaining about the field the entire time.
They were, but look, no one was complaining after week one. No one said anything about the turf in week one. So I don't know. It's the same turf. So it's like was it worn down? I think they have an artificial turf actually in MetLife. So
they were saying it was sticky. Like as they were stepping on it, it was sticky,
which is bad.
Obviously, because you go to make a cut and your foot is still stuck to the turf.
It's like when you're playing in rain and you put those extra long cleats on and you're stuck. You can rip yourself.
It's tough to say, man. So
injuries played a big part.
I think the team that's going to be most affected by this is the 49ers. For real, I really do. Aside, for all their injuries, they also lost their starting quarterback. Like, I understand they're a run-heavy team, but
Playboy G.
They lost all their running backs. Now they're on their third and fourth string running backs. Because even Tevin Coleman is out indefinitely. Raheem Mostert should be back. I'm gonna say max 2 weeks. I have him on multiple teams. So I read up a lot. Doesn't seem to be too serious. He more than likely, I'm gonna say 85 to 90% he misses this game, and then I think next week it kind of becomes like a 50-50.
And is Kittle coming back for the 49ers this week?
Kittle is also up in the air. He's projected to come back right now, as it stands, I believe. But that's another issue. So they were complaining about the field. Do they want to run the risk of sending him out there with a bad field and then him re-injuring himself and then losing him for a longer period of time?
Because they just played the Jets and now they're playing the Giants.
And they're playing the Giants. So they're not playing a top tier team. So they could probably, sign up Joe off the street or Jordan Reed, who balled in Kittle's absence. So they should be okay. Granted, Jordan Reed has a super huge history of injury, usually concussions though. So whatever. Beside the point. Moving on. Waiver picks for the week. Obviously, because of the injuries, it's going to be a very, 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 very tough waiver week. A lot of people are going for handcuffs that weren't already picked. I know I am. I'm sure you are. Maybe not your handcuff, but someone else's handcuffs. So
I lost Saquon. So
let's go with your top 5 picks for your waiver pickups.
So my top 5 picks, based on what I'm hearing and based on what's out there, Mike Davis comes to my ear. I hear the name being floated around a lot. Mike Davis this, Mike Davis that. He had like 8 catches this past weekend. So CMC's gone for about 4 weeks. And Mike Davis...
Minimum 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah. And Mike Davis can be put into this system. Mike Davis is a little bit, I think, overweight. Not really a pass catch. He's not CMC. No one is CMC. There's people who can get kind of close. But Mike Davis, I don't know, man. Mike Davis, number 1. Number 2 is Darrell Henderson, another Rams running back, now back on the top of the waivers. Last week was, of course, Malcolm Brown. Now we have Darrell Henderson. Number 3, Jonnu Smith, tight end of the Titans, has a good chemistry with Tannehill. He keeps putting up numbers. He's done it last year. He did it last year too. This year he's doing it again. He's not being drafted in leagues, and yet he's falling into the waivers, and it's just like he does these numbers, and you're like, holy crap, this guy's the real deal.
I think it's more Tannehill as why people, because we had him for 8 years, so we.
I don't know, man, because AJ Brown and Corey and Coleman were picked up pretty early, so I don't know if it's truly Tannehill. Number 4, I have Deion Lewis. Now with Saquon gone, Deion Lewis. Number 4 and 5 are Deion Lewis and Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman is a free agent that's probably going to sign with the Giants. I think he's going through physical right now.
No, he signed already.
He signed already?
He signed it, but I think it's just pending. I think it's pending COVID results. if he can like suit up soon.
All right.
I'm pretty sure he's expected to.
So Dion Lewis, Devontae Freeman. Devontae didn't do crap with Atlanta the last couple of seasons. He's washed, like a lot of FSG. Anyways, so Devontae Freeman's washed. Can he do anything with the worse offensive line than what he had with the Falcons? I don't know. I like Dion Lewis because he's going to catch a lot of passes from Daniel Jones. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Daniel Jones now throw 40 passes a game. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's going to be like, you know what, we have no more running game. Daniel Jones, go. Open up the playbook and just go. It's hard to believe that with Jason Garrett being the offensive coordinator because he's not a go type of guy. He's like, hey, guys, I think we should run the ball. You know? I don't know, but I like Dion Lewis. Those are my 5.
For me, I'm going to go with my 5. My number 1 is actually Devontae Freeman. Unlike you, I'm not saying that he's going to be obviously replacing Saquon. That's not going to happen. Saquon is a specimen. But Devontae Freeman was a solid back at some point. He's only 28 years old. He's not very old. And he didn't play much of last year towards the end. I think he was injured. And now I'm sure he's still in shape. If not, they wouldn't sign him. So I'm going to pick him just because I feel like overall talent, he's going to end up being the best back on that field. Now, regarding, my second person, I'm going to put is Darrell Henderson. I know Malcolm Brown was the number 1 pick last week. That plays like a 300 monster straight up. I was reading up. I do believe that they actually have always liked Darrell Henderson a lot. They drafted him very high when they did draft him, 3rd round, and it looks like he was showing flashes of the reason why they originally drafted him so high. So I do believe that this is going to continue moving forward. But it's hard to say who's going to end up being the lead dog at the end because you have Cam Akers on your leagues, and he was projected to be the lead guy. So it's kind of a 3-headed monster. I think it's going to be, it's going to be tough. But I think Darrell Henderson is going to be the leading back for right now because I think Cam Akers is going to be out with a little bit of time or at least limited snaps. And the same thing with Malcolm Brown because he dislocated or broke his finger. So they'll probably limit his snaps as well. He runs with his legs, not his fingers, obviously, but he needs to hold the ball with his hands. So that will probably make a difference. Mike Davis is my number 3, mainly because the only reason he's not higher is CMC is supposed to be coming back. It's not going to be a forever thing, so it's going to be a temporary fix. But in the meantime, he is going to be a heavily relied on source for the Panthers. Bridgewater actually likes to dink and dunk. So he likes to do that a lot. So Mike Davis at the end of the last game, even though they were trying to come back, so they were throwing the ball a lot, he had 8 catches after CMC went down. So that's a lot of catches in a short amount of time. Jerick McKinnon is my number 4. Tevin Coleman is down, so is Raheem Mostert, who's a starter. So because of that, I'm going to say Jerick McKinnon has the lead back duties for now. And he's a good pass catching back. He's fast. He's got big playability. So I'm going to put him at my number 4. And my number 5 is going to be Jonnu Smith as well. Guy's balling. He's like he's top 5 tight ends right now. I think he has 3 touchdowns on the season, 2 last week, 1 week 1. He's doing well. Like I said, like Mike said, he did well the last year. He's underrated, but like I said, I think it might be because of Tannehill. Yeah.
Those are our 5. Those are our waiver pickups. Target them. Moving on to some more NFL news. I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Is this the end of Julio Jones as a number 1 receiver? Calvin Ridley has ballooned into this alpha thing. Is it because Julio demands so much respect from the number 1 corners, or is it because Calvin now is that number 1 receiver? What do you think?
So I do not think this is the end of Julio Jones. I believe he is still the number 1 option on that team. I do believe a lot of this has to do with the fact that Julio Jones does demand a lot of coverage. However, Julio is 30. He's now going to probably start his decline. So I think it's not the end, but I think it's the beginning of the end. I still think, I have Julio in one of my leagues. I think Julio's going to have a great season. He's going to end up leading them in targets probably at the end of the year, probably in receptions as well. They do a lot to stop him, and a lot of the times you can't stop him. This week, however, he was kept in check. I'm sure he was double covered. but I do not think it's the end. However, this whole team, even Russell Gage had another good game too.
Yeah, he did.
So it's Matt Ryan is literally just throwing the ball all over the place. I think next year we'll probably see more of a definitive decline from Julio. I don't think it's the end of him now though. But he's never been the touchdown guy. Unfortunately, he catches like 400 passes a year. Obviously, this is an exaggeration because that's ridiculous. But he catches a fuck ton of passes a year, but he never seems to get the damn touchdowns. And freaking Calvin Ridley has what, like 5 touchdowns on the season, or 5 or 4? It's ridiculous.
And he was doing the same thing last year too.
Yeah.
So it's just. I look for it to continue. The Bears visit the Falcons this weekend. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Julio has a monster game. 8 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I would not be surprised one bit if he has those numbers, and then Calvin Ridley still has 80 yards and a touchdown too. Because
the reason I agree with you also, I wouldn't be surprised, is because it's been 2 weeks already, and they're seeing that Calvin Ridley is a problem. Mm-hmm. So now they're not going to be able to double Julio like they have been doubling him. They have been doubling him.
Yeah, man. I agree.
So I think it is going to be
good answer, man.
It's going to be
good answer.
He should bounce back.
In other news, what do you think about this being the end for Drew Brees and or Tom Brady?
I don't like it because
Drew
Brees, in our league, I have both of them.
Drew Brees can't throw the deep ball anymore.
Look, I'm going to be... For Drew Brees, it's a little different. I don't think he's... Obviously, they're both older quarterbacks. I still think he's going to have a good season. He doesn't have Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders is new to the team. I do think that makes a big difference. With Tom Brady, the Patriots are always known for letting go of people when it's their time to be let go. Recent example, Gostkowski missed 400 kicks in 1 week, and they let him go, and he was their kicker for a very long time. Tom Brady, look, he threw the ball on that pass that he threw to Mike Evans in the touchdown that he caught. It was an underthrown pass. It was underthrown. It looked like it was supposed to be a back shoulder pass, and it was a back hip pass because he literally threw it to his hip. And Evans made a play on the ball and caught the ball, but it's dude. I mean, Father Time is undefeated. They're not gonna play at what they used to play forever.
So, Panos, so for you, Brees isn't washed, but Brady is washed.
I'm not saying that neither of them are not washed. I'm saying they're still gonna have okay seasons, but they are not. It's not gonna be what we were expecting. And I have them both on my team. I drafted Brady because I wanted to start him with all his weapons. I expected him to pop. He has yet to pop. Granted, it's still only week 2. Week 3, things could change. Anything could change in a day.
The narrative can change.
Exactly. I'm starting Drew Brees this week over him because, well, they play the Packers and they are, notoriously not good in the secondary. And Michael Thomas should be back. So, and because Brees has played so bad in the first 2 games, I'm expecting a minimum 3 touchdown performance from Drew Brees.
Okay.
But they are not what they were.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, no, they're not. I thought they were better because I drafted them. But they're not what they once were. That's evident.
Look, I think the Patriots do a great job at masking
weaknesses,
inefficiencies, problems and weaknesses that some players have. For Brady, I think they did it a couple times. He had such a mastering of that game plan under Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick that he knew exactly where everything needs to be. He just needed the receivers to learn where they needed to be. And Edelman had that down packed, So he's in a new system with Bruce Arians, running a brand new... He's actually with a coach who is an offensive coach because Bill Belichick, going back to the 80s,
defensive coach.
He's a defensive
That's
backs
why he
coach.
spends money on defense.
Right. So Bruce Arians is all about offense. He likes the veteran quarterback. He did it with Arizona, took Carson Palmer. That's his thing, So it's new. I don't think he's washed, but I do think the game plan for the Saints and the Buccaneers is going to be short, ding, little things,
And then clear up one semi-deep pass.
Play action into a deep pass. Mike Evans is a big receiver. Brady loves it. Brady can love it, but he doesn't have the...
I think the emergence of Leonard Fournette, because I think Leonard Fournette is, if not this week, the week after the next, is going to be the lead dog. It's done.
Well, he has way more talent than Ronald Jones.
He has from the beginning. Ronald Jones has been there for 3 years and hasn't done anything.
He was splitting with Peyton Barber back in the day.
Exactly.
So.
He hasn't done anything in the 3 seasons that he's been there. And he had the fumble, lost it, and this guy sealed the game with a 46-yard touchdown or 40-something yard touchdown at the end of the game. If not this week, next week for sure. Clear lead back duties for Fournette, and I think that's gonna make a huge because he can also catch out of the backfield, so it's gonna make a huge difference for them.
Another question, Panos, for all our LA fans: what do you think about Tyrod Taylor? Obviously, having his health issues, wisely chose to sit out, took care of that, But
No, I don't think he chose to. I think they told him. Hey.
No, he was in the warm up saying he had chest issues. So,
anyways,
regardless, they took him to the hospital. So, what do you think about the Rook?
I think they good. He played well against the defending Super Bowl champs.
300 yards. Over 300 yards.
I mean, he's like 6'7". He's big. He's like a Joe Flacco height size.
But he has that. I wish they were still in San Diego because he has that like Southern California.
Yeah, he looks like
a surfer.
Yeah, he looks like a surfer.
He fits the.
I think he's gonna probably end up staying moving forward. In all honesty,
but the coach said that no, once Tyrod Taylor comes back and is healthy, they're gonna go back to Tyrod. He gives them the best chance of winning, even though Herbert showed that he could throw for 300 yards and touchdowns. I don't know. It's a tough thing to do as a coach. But you know what? Sometimes things happen for a reason. And at this point, Herbert showed that he can play against a team he just played against. And I think, you know what? You go forward with that. He's going to be the quarterback of the future. Why not? If you already showed he could play, why not do it?
I would go forward with him for the same reason. They drafted him very high.
Yeah, man.
He's going to be their quarterback moving forward. And, bro, he's the Super Bowl champs. And he did well. He almost won the game.
So it leads me to my next question. Burrow or Herbert? I like Burrow. Who is the offensive rookie of the year?
Burrow.
Okay.
I know you like the Bengals, and I know you didn't like Burrow, but so far Burrow has not.
So I've seen
he's played well.
So I see all Bengals games, of course, right? I see Dolphins games, and since I have Kyler in a lot of fantasy leagues, I've been watching all the Cardinals games. So those are the three teams. So, wow, Burrow's showing.
Promise.
I like it.
He's showing that his senior year at LSU was not a joke. Was not a fluke.
FSU.
Yeah, I know, because you were talking about the FSU game and I had him on my mind.
Hey, man, because FSU week, baby. Let's go. We got them Kings. Let's go. We're ranked 12th in the nation right now. Where's FSU ranked?
Nowhere.
It's like they're already lost.
They suck.
I don't even know what's
They're a bunch
going to happen.
of semen horns. Anyways, it's going right.
Yeah, I guess.
Where were we?
I was asking you questions about the league, about what's going on in the NFL.
Are we done with this? Moving on to the next subject?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, next subject. So, we're done with football. We are now moving on to basketball. And let's talk about Lakers versus Nuggets. Tonight, who do you have?
I got. Since you're asking me first,
yes.
I'm going Denver Nuggets.
I'm also going Denver Nuggets. I think they're a good team. They are, obviously, we're Heat fans. I think they are literally the Heat of the West. Young. They have some veteran leadership. Mason Plumlee.
Paul
Millsap. That was my next person that I was going to mention. They're a good team. I think they're well coached. I think they got a lot of experience in their short amount of time because, bro, they have 2 back-to-back 7-game series coming down from 3-1. They've got dog in them. I don't think they're going to lose this game. I think this series will also go to 6. I do think the Lakers are going to win.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So, I thought the Clippers were going to win the championship this year. Forget the Clippers history. They suck and this and this. I had the Clippers winning the championship this year. I think from top to bottom, they were the best team on paper, and they were more talented overall than the Lakers. Mm-hmm. So, in my point of view, the Nuggets beating the Clippers, a much more talented team
than the Lakers.
The Lakers have LeBron and Anthony.
Okay.
Everything else is
this is going to be a good one. I can't wait for you to finish. Go ahead.
Lower, mid-level. Hey, you're the basketball guy. I'm the football guy. I'm the baseball guy.
I'm going to attack in about 10 seconds.
So, in my opinion, the Nuggets, who have the Joker, and they have Murray, who was balling out. They lost game 1, and Murray had like 14 points. He only shot He shot like 12 shots. He needs to be more aggressive. Come on. You were averaging 40 points a game. What are you doing now? Only shooting the ball 8, 10 times. Like, what is that crap? You know, Murray, you got to ball out. If you're gonna show us that you want to be a superstar and you are showing us, you have to perform to superstar level. So, in my opinion, with the whole Clippers thing, them defeating them,
Murray's like 23, right?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. I mean, that's the future of the NBA now. These players are getting drafted at 19. They're super raw.
Tyler Hero.
They're super raw. They're super like rare. And then by the age of 24, it's like, oh my gosh, what happened to Brandon Ingram? You know, Brandon Ingram got selected second overall a couple years ago. Oh, he's okay, averaging 10, averaging 12.
Player,
and then boom, out of nowhere, 26 points a game and shit like that. That's the future of the NBA. They're drafting these players. That's how it is. But I got the Nuggets winning today. I thought the Nuggets would at least take this to 7 because it's just Anthony and LeBron. And, of course, playoff Rondo, which can never count out. This is a different animal. I don't know. So I'm done. The Nuggets today, and we'll go from there.
Bye.
Earthquake.
Sorry that yeah. All right, so I'm going to break it down for you. This is my opinion, obviously, and this is, everybody has a different opinion. The Clippers, I never thought the Clippers were going to win. Plain and simple. I did not think the Clippers were going to win for a few different reasons. One, I'm not a huge Kawhi Leonard fan. Everybody thinks he's the best player in the world. Not everybody. A lot of people think he's the best player in the world. I disagree. The best player in the world is still LeBron. As much as it pains me to say, I don't hate LeBron. I'm upset that he left the Heat. But as much as it pains me to say, he is still the best player in the NBA. Kawhi, every championship that he won, in my mind, except the first one, but the one in Toronto has an asterisk. KD and Clay were both out. Even with KD in the game by himself, they don't win that series. I don't care what anybody tells me. That's not going to happen. Especially with KD and Clay, they're not going to win. So he literally beat a hobbled Warriors team to win his second championship. Within the first championship, yes, they gave him the MVP. Don't get me wrong, he's a great player. I'm not saying he's not good. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think he's the best player in the world. He also didn't do it by himself. He still had Tim Duncan. He still had Tony Parker. He still had Manu Ginobili. And aside from all of them, he didn't do much in the series. Like, he didn't lead them in scoring. It wasn't a crazy series for him. However, I mean, on the flip side, the Spurs, that was like, when they beat us, dude, that was the most beautiful basketball I had ever seen in my life.
Danny Green.
Dude, they did not, it was insane. They beat us in 5 games. I could not believe what was happening. I was so angry.
I was at your house?
Yeah, I know. It was a very sad days in those houses, in that house.
I mean, it was sad for you the first Heat victory, the time the Mavs, you know. I was going for the Mavs that one, but it was sad for you.
Besides the point. So that's, I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is, okay? He's supposed to be the leader of the team, but he's not a leader.
He's not.
Leaders lead by example, and they need to hold themselves accountable, and they need to take charge of the team. I'm not saying he doesn't hold himself accountable. Maybe he does. Maybe he holds other people accountable. But nobody sees him doing anything. He's extremely quiet. I don't see him confronting people. I don't see him doing anything like that. I do not want him to lead my team. He can easily lead us in scoring. He could be our best defensive player on the team, but he's not a leader. Perfect example of the opposite would be Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, to me, is not the best offensive basketball player, and he knows he's not. He doesn't have a good shot. He doesn't have a good mid-range shot. He makes his free throws, which is great, and he gets to the hole, and he shoots a shit ton of free throws. I did not know that he was capable of that, and he's a good defensive player. But offensively, he's limited. If you keep him shooting the ball, he's not going to make. He doesn't have a good jump shot. But he's a very vocal leader. He takes charge of the team. He calls people on their mistakes. He demands excellence from his teammates. Where Kawhi is like this, quiet the whole time. That's one. The other thing, Doc Rivers, as good of a coach as he is
he that good of a coach?
I think he's a great coach, but I don't think he's a championship coach. He won one championship when he had Paul Pierce in his prime, Kevin Garnett in his prime, Ray Allen in his prime, and Rajon Rondo in his prime, or his early prime. And they might not have been completely in the prime. They might have been.
They were in their twilight.
And they were twilight,
prime.
But they were on the decline. Yeah. But they were still good.
Yeah.
Since then, he hasn't done anything. Like, for real. He really hasn't done anything.
Doc is a good coach.
Frank Vogel, when he was with the Pacers, always gave us freaking problems. Dude, he made Roy Hibbert an all-star. That guy is not in the NBA anymore. That guy sucks. He made that man an all-star. He literally is he's like, I'm not saying he's as good as Spoelstra because he knows Spoelstra is the best. but he came through the same avenue Spoelstra did. They were both video coordinators.
Yeah.
So they spend their all day just watching video, breaking down offenses and defenses. It's ridiculous. That's all he did. So I think Frank Vogel's a good coach. I mean, they're the best defensive team in the NBA, or top two. They it's just it is what it is. And at the end of the day, the all-star power of AD and LeBron, I think, outmatched everything that the Lakers had. I mean, the Clippers had. I don't think, even if we would have had a Lakers-Clippers, Western Conference Finals, I would still would have taken the Lakers.
I don't know.
But we didn't because the Clippers didn't make it.
Clippers choked. Paul George choked. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul George in the playoffs is just horrible.
So I'm going to pick the Nuggets today as well. Just like Mike said, I think the Nuggets lose in 6. I think they win this one, they win the next one, and then the Lakers close them out.
No. The Nuggets win today. The Lakers win in 2 days. And then the Nuggets win the next 17. Yeah. What's the
Anyways, so that's pretty much what we have. Now, let's talk about the Heat. Okay, real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
That's impossible
So we
for you.
lost Game 3.
On Saturday.
I don't think I've been complaining a lot about the officiating throughout the Heat's playoff run because I feel like they're always going against us. I don't think I thought the officiating was even. They missed calls on both sides and called stupid calls on both sides. The Heat didn't want to win that game. Straight
Yeah,
up.
they got spanked.
They
From the beginning to the end, they got spanked.
we can't be the comeback kids to win an NBA championship. We can't be the comeback kids always. That's not safe. That's not healthy. That's not going to happen. We keep coming down. We keep coming back from deficits. We need to start the game strong. Jimmy Butler needs to be more aggressive from the beginning. He can't wait to turn it on in the fourth quarter. What happens if we're down 30 in the fourth quarter? It's too late to turn it on. Plain and simple. They need to be more aggressive. They need to get back to what they were doing before. Duncan got involved again, especially late in the game to almost.
But it was too late.
Back, but it was too late. The most important thing is I think Jimmy Butler needs to be more aggressive. That doesn't mean he has to shoot 37 shots, but he needs to be more aggressive, driving to the basket, kicking out, drawing the fouls, putting pressure on the Celtics defense.
So I think Bam has to be more aggressive. They have no answer for Bam. They have absolutely no answer for Bam Adebayo. Bam needs to be aggressive early on, kind of like when we had Shaq in 04 and 05 and 06. Feed the big man, feed the big man. It's a different game. It's not like they're posting up with their backs against the basket. That's not what they're doing. But give it to Bam at the free throw line. Let him see, or pick and pop. He has a mid-range he could do. Yeah, do pick and pop, or pick and roll. Just roll
if
with
that
it.
mid-range gets to like Chris Bosh's mid-range level,
That'd be crazy.
it's over. Like straight up, he's gonna clear up, dude. It's over.
It has to get to that level.
If he can hit like 8 out of 10 mid-range shots, like wide open, bro, dude.
So game 4 is tomorrow, Wednesday, and the Heat have to win this game. If the Heat don't win this game, this is going 7 games, and it can easily be the Celtics, man. I said it from the beginning, the Heat are going to have an issue with Kemba. If Kemba is hot, because Kemba's kind of like Paul George. He's just not there in the playoffs. If Kemba's hot, there is nobody we can have to stop him. You can't keep putting Duncan Robinson on him because he's too fast. Kemba's going to get around him. Dragic can do some stuff. He can hold him there.
Tyler Herro's been holding his own.
I like Tyler on him. When they did that, I was like, okay, that's pretty
Tyler
good.
Herro is my favorite player in the NBA.
Did you buy his jersey yet?
I didn't know. I don't.
This guy's been telling me he's buying the jersey.
I'm going to buy it. I have it look at my phone. It's in my cart, but I don't have the money right now, the funds. We're in a recession. No, we're not in a recession. We're in a pandemic.
Well, when the stimulus check hits in a couple weeks, maybe you can...
Yeah, I'm going to spend it on something else.
Brand new car!
Anyways, Tyler Herro. Huge.
It's Tyler Tuesday, guys.
Dude, it is Tyler Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love Tyler Tuesday. You know he was born in 2000? Does that make you feel old? Because it made me feel old.
No, it doesn't make me feel
It
old.
makes me feel old. Anyways.
What were you doing in 2000?
My thumb in my butt. I like weird things. Anyways, no. I was in 4th grade. Going
Wow.
to 5th. 4th grade.
2000 in 4th grade.
Yeah, anyways, they were putting him a lot on Kemba, and he was doing well. He got I remember, I don't know if it was game one. I think it was game one. He had a step back on
Yep.
Tyler Hero. I have not seen him do that step back since. Like, he's tried to do it, but he hasn't actually gotten it. Like, he hasn't even taken the shot because, like, Tyler's expecting it. So once he plants his right foot and goes for that step back, he literally takes up the space and he can't shoot the ball anymore. So now he has to pass it. But I think Tyler is a very good player. He's my favorite Heat player since Dwayne Wade. I know Dwayne Wade only retired a year ago, but I have not liked someone this much since Dwayne Wade. It's very high praise for a 20-year-old kid, but dude,
How do you like Michael Beasley?
I never liked Michael Beasley.
How do you even Sean Marion?
I never liked Sean Marion. I actually took a duck.
That's that era of the Heat, like after 06 to 11. That was just
Jermaine
we
O'Neal
had
was like,
players that were like, do they fit?
No.
I still stick with Earl Barron, baby. 05, let's go Earl Barron. I met him at the gas station after a Heat game. Stayed at the Heat game a little longer. I saw him at the gas station. I was right there on like where those buildings are right there next to AAA. I was like, ah! He's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, yeah! Like, yeah! It was a good game. He didn't even play anything, but good game. No, I got you, bro. That was cool.
All right. So the Heat are. That's what they need. They need Jimmy to be more aggressive. I think it's the biggest.
Let's see what happens. We have another show for you guys coming up later this week. Of course, it'll be after the Heat game. Sorry, I hit you there. It'll be after the Heat game. So we'll be. This guy right here will be either started off like, or he's gonna be like, let's go crazy. It's gonna be weird. I don't know. It's either gonna be sad or it's gonna be happy. But we're gonna have another episode for you guys, obviously later this week. Tune into that, and I think that is the closure. Of course, you haven't finished your beer. You're close, actually, this time. So, all right, guys. So coming to you live from downtown Dadeland. I'm Mike, and that is
Panos.
Peace out, y'all.